Live button has been hit. We are live, gentlemen. It's good to meet everybody. Mensa, we got Old Man Ruckus and two guests off the cuff. I have no idea. Introduce me.
So Mensa told him to be surprised because of the topic of today's show. So I wanted to introduce everybody to my cousin Ashton McLaughlin. This is the Ash and Bashin.
Oh, what's up?
Everybody doing?
Good,
Now,
man.
you also got my god brother, one of my best friends in the world since birth.
Nice.
This is Julian Worlds.
I'm digging the crown, man. Is like a Biggie homage?
Nah. I'm original, man. I know a lot of people like to compare me. A lot of people like to compare me to Biggie Smalls, and
right. I feel you.
Much respect to the late and great, but I'm an original. I am like nobody else you ever met.
Right.
Bill will tell you, like,
yeah, man. So the reason why this show came about today was simply because of a couple of racist comments that we've been getting. One in particular actually made me laugh. They meant to laugh too. Said, unemployed black man selling piracy for money. Talking about the Bash console. Now today we're not talking about the Bash console. Today, I wanted to talk with a few successful black men that are important to me. So Ashton, not just with Bash and with ABM, which I've talked about on the show a lot, actually.
Oh, wow.
Ashton is actually a successful project manager, just became a dad.
Ooh, congrats, man.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Ben said what you don't know, which is going to make you smile, said he's also an Air Force veteran.
My man.
hey, appreciate it, Gotta stick together.
What was your job?
I was a 4B bio. I was the gas mask people.
Oh, I hate you guys
so
much, man.
Come and get your fit test in,
Now,
I had quick story. I had it. I was one of the LTs there because I'm an OG waiver man.
Oh yeah,
like a true waiver guy. Because what they tried to do was take away the waiver and make it like a profile. But I was one of the OG waivers. It was like written into my medical profile. Like I did not. I have to adhere to 3629. Was it AFI 3629-03? Something like that.
362903. Yeah.
They tried. Didn't work out.
Yeah, you know how
this mug
goes.
was on television with this beer, But this fool, he had the audacity to, they tried to like, well, you can't get a good gas mask seal. I'm like, man, 4 fucking combat missions. I think you guys screwed up by now.
I think
we're gonna make this work.
That's awesome.
All right, now let me introduce you guys to Julian. Julian, again, one of my best friends since birth. The reason why he's on the show is because he's actually getting ready to fly out to Japan to be on the show when he starts up his new flower shop.
Oh, that's going to be actually here, right here in the States.
Oh, it's going to be here? Are you not doing it out in Japan anymore?
No, the show is always going to be this. It's going to be
the show's here. Okay, so you're going to be on actual TV, millions of viewers, not our little couple hundred. It's going to be everybody is going to get to see you on a new reality show.
Couple million.
Oh wow!
Nice.
The reason I understand now why you thought it was in Japan. I already was on TV.
Happy Hana.
I already was on TV in Japan last year. Yeah, I was. They did an interview for me at the airport. They this show called Yuanani, which basically means like, why did you come to Japan? They saw me in the airport and they was just, all I heard was kawaii. Kawaii means cute in Japanese because they like my fashion. So they came up to me and it was just basically like, who are you? Why are you in Japan? What are you doing here? And I was like, one day I'm starting a business and then one day I want to expand into Japan. So I'm coming here to do research and just hang out with my friends. At this point, I got more friends in Japan than I do in America. So.
Yes, I know how you feel.
Okay.
I know how you feel.
I do speak Japanese, so
that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn that?
I'm
just
still
being
learning.
Over there off and on and whatnot.
I'm still learning.
I understand.
About 4 or 5 online classes every week. So my teacher lives in Osaka.
Out of your way now.
You're serious about it.
Been doing it for about a year. It'll be a year on Monday. My teacher lives in Japan. She lives in Osaka, and we met when I went to Japan. It was pretty dope.
Nice.
Isn't it amazing how when you're overseas, when I say that, like the Pacific area, and how appreciative other cultures are, that you even attempt to speak anything but English to them.
Well, you know
it's
what?
a great feeling.
I'm gonna put it more bluntly.
Yeah.
How much appreciated Black people are in Japan.
Wow.
Yeah,
Specifically Black people. They love Black people there. Like not just Americans, but like, yeah, obviously there's that caveat of here's a foreigner speaking Japanese, and that's pretty cool. But when you get somebody from North Philly in Japan speaking Japanese,
bruh,
people just their heads just there's steam coming out of their ears. They're just like, well, who are you? Like, are you real? Like, are you from? Everybody thought I was a celebrity. They didn't
right.
know that someone like me could be like a normal person.
That's awesome.
Player? Are you a basketball player? Are you like some icon? No, some dude from North Philly. I went to Mansion.
Right.
And that's one of the things I do love about Black culture is that we everywhere. Like, Black people will eat anything, will try anything, will learn another language. I have so much respect for the Black community. And the whole time, we doing it with a smile on our face.
Yes. I love being me. Meeting people like you guys, and just the automatic have a kinship. We walk by each other, the silent nod, the acknowledgement, the receipt. I see you, I hear you, my brother. I don't know any other culture like that. I mean, granted, I'm not them, but I just don't see it.
Yeah. Even when I was in Japan, I was in Hokkaido, which is like the northern island, and I'm in the airport, and I'm like on a little walking escalator, and there was this Black dude on the opposite side of the walking escalator, and and all the way on the other side of the world,
right? Everyone else is like, "What do I get?" Facts, man. Facts fitting everywhere.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
I love our culture. Speaking of which, I like doing a lot of pop culture, whatnot, and I was going through YouTube and going through the music, and this guy, he did a cover of DJ Jazzy Jeff's version of Peter Piper. And you know how they do the scratching and whatnot. Oh, hold on real quick. Let me add a special person to the stage.
What's going on?
My brother. Introduce yourself to the fellas.
What's going on, guys? This is Prince Malcolm, one of the lead representatives to help Bash, gain titles for the Bash box, and also as far as licensing goes.
And who you are as a person?
I am a law enforcement officer in the Metropolitan Police Department in Washington, D.C. 19 years.
That is awesome. We just so many people from all over. I was just we were just talking about who we were, whatnot, and just once again, I get the conversation is we're just casually talking about our life perspective, and I was going in about how I saw this guy doing a cover of DJ Jazzy Jeff's Peter Piper, and I'm big into this musicology stuff. And scratching is literally, correct me, you're going to A to B. You take one portion of the tape or record, going to the next, and you form this beat, this melody. And this guy took it to a whole different science, a whole science, and he literally made a tape. And it's like, imagine an actual tape from like a VHS kind of stuff, and he's got like a little marker, and he would scratch literally from one side to the other as it rolled through. And he I want to show you. You'll see what I'm talking about, if you don't mind. Let me see here. Present, share screen, DJ Jazzy, share. Boom. Zoom it up. So it's about 5 minutes.
You want to tell them a little bit about it?
Thank you for setting me up there. I discovered recently that if you do if you Google the phrase audio tape scratching, one of the first results.
And this is how appreciative I am of the culture.
Routine on my audio tape scratching rig that I built.
Was it a cassette?
No, it was actually
and how this can transcend no matter what culture, what race, what demographic,
I actually built something using
music to science,
2-inch tape
to engineering.
And
I'm gonna send it to you now. Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on. I got it.
Hi, I'm Jeremy, and today I am unveiling the fifth prototype of my tape scratching invention. To debut my new model, I'll be performing my version of DJ Jazzy Jeff's version of Run DMC's version of Peter Piper.
I get kicked off, y'all know why. You can probably beat Texas with those hands.
Wow.
Woo.
Real quick, DJ, he's gonna throw down an analysis.
Oh my God, I need that link. Oh my gosh.
I'll send it over to you for sure. Yeah, this is what we do, when we're not doing all that other stuff. Thanks, Jeremy.
I love that. Oh my God.
Oh, thank you. That means, oh wow. I am this is like the best day of my life.
Oh man. That was absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
It's I don't think it'll ever replace turntablism, but
But
I think it has its own separate place in the turntablism universe.
Well, I think to me, what was absolutely amazing is that you understand the nuance of what a scratch is.
Yeah.
It's really moving something forward and backward in time, cutting the signal on and off in time, going faster and slower in time. And you were able to take that off of a turntable and build something to create all of those aspects. That was genius. That was, I don't know what to say. I need to say that.
Thank you. One of the things that I realized after I made that video is that so much of what gives scratching, record scratching its sound is the weight and inertia of the record. Mm-hmm. And those little handheld wands that I have don't.
I thought that was pretty cool. I don't know if y'all had any feedback about that or not.
No, I think it was dope. I think it actually that video is actually a good segue into things that's just been. I guess for lack of term, it's been bugging me.
Yeah.
Over this week, and you've been at the forefront because you know what's going on as far as working with Bash, but a lot of things that's been transpiring, and I've been looking at from a different perspective of life. After I wish Dom could be on now so he could give his thoughts to it too. But with black men in general, we've gone through so many tough times trying to just do the same things that other people have done. And I feel like if you take Ashton for example, we had an app. I want to say about 3 years ago we had snipped that.
Let's see, 2020 we dropped it. So about 4 years ago.
Okay. So we dropped Snip at 2020, and it took for a different company, a few different companies who do it nowhere near as good as we did, that have been able to take off. They've been able to just walk in the office and say, "Hey, I need a couple $1 million." Well, we've done things from the muscle.
That's true.
We take Julian for example. He's done everything he's done from the muscle. Now he's got a lot of mentorship from our uncle Bruce Bailey, but with even with Uncle Bruce, that was him doing everything from the muscle.
Right.
And it take us, military and all uniformed services in general. Prince Malcolm has been a uniformed officer for 19 years. That's a long fucking time as a cop.
Very long time.
A long time as a cop on his duty. That he's going through people hating cops from Ferguson thing, from Breonna Taylor, from George Floyd. Cops have been given a bad name.
Absolutely.
Where it's like he's the standout as a good cop and still ostracized. So he's got to work from the muscle. Same way you've been through with the Army, same way you've been through with the Air Force, same way I've been through with the Army, and then even now within Bash, everything we do is from the muscle. And it's not to say any of us want any type of sympathy or anything from there. We don't need kudos for it because that's what it means to do everything from the muscle. It's right. That we do have an uphill battle, and then when we do see somebody else and from a different perspective than ours, we always try to show love. Where I feel like we don't often get that same love back to where something like that with Jazzy Jeff is the exception, it's not the rule.
You have one of the you have like one of the OGs, one of the grandfathers acknowledging. I mean, honestly, nobody, as far as celeb status, having a place, an impact. Not saying that he won't, but to put him on this level of, I see you, I hear you. It doesn't matter your background, what you've done, what you did was cool. I acknowledge that this could have a place. You took the science, but then yet someone like Jazzy, he'll probably be called, a thug, kicked out. We don't listen to that type of stuff around here. And like you said, it's weird, the reception. So you got someone who is acknowledging him, and he's showing just nothing but love.
To build on what you said, Bill, like all of the adversity and difficulties that I face in life, I feel like it propelled me to go forward. It like everybody who says that I can't do it, they made me. It made me feel like I'm going to do it just to prove it wrong. Right. Like, I know I can do it, and I know that even though it's difficult, I know that I can achieve everything I want to, even though I'm dealing with like difficulties that other people can't even comprehend.
Exactly.
For example, I was very successful in the corporate world for almost 20 years, and throughout all of the time that I spent in the corporate world, I dealt with not one, not two, but 3 different racial discrimination lawsuits. Wow. That means once every 5 or 6 years, I'm dealing with another racial discrimination lawsuit. That's how common it is. And I feel like a lot of like Black people in the corporate world, they just deal with it because like the alternative is like it's not the vibe, right? You don't want to have to deal with speaking up, potentially getting fired, causing
retaliation,
getting the spotlight put on you. But I've always been a fighter, and for better or worse, like I've always stood up for myself. And if I notice something is not right, I'll speak up. I got spankings for it when I was a kid. Like you talk too much, that smart mouth of yours, you know. Like, but I've always been like that. So like, yeah, it's been difficult. Went through years of therapy. That's another thing. I wish that more Black men went to therapy because it's helping me so much right now.
Right.
I was recently a victim of a hate crime. Some radical racist threw a rock through my window in October last year, and like it just propels me to move forward. Like right now, I don't think I could even have the courage to start my business if all the adversity didn't happen to me. So like as much as I hate it, thank you.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Today is my therapy session, if that makes any sense. Because Mensa, you know what I've been going through this week, and it's been really bugging me. And I guess more so because of the fact that it's like I've never really experienced it before. You know, this is my first time dealing with fame, especially without the money, and dealing with the hate that comes with it. And I knew this was a part of it, but it's like once it hits you, it's like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? It's I do remember there's more. I got to remember there's more support, there's more love. You know, I've gotten literally like in my Facebook right now. There's literally it says 1.1K. I didn't even know it does that, and that's all full of people saying, "Hey, Bill, you know, keep going, man. You got this. Keep going. You got this." And I remember that. You know, for 3 or 4 different people, one wasn't really racist so much as just pain in my ass. One was clearly racist, and you know, I'm not going to give them too much in there and on the show, but at the same time, yeah, it kind of bothered me until I sat back and thought about it. You know, John D called me and was like, "Bill, man, you got to relax. Like, you got to chill out, man, because it was really bothering me. It was really affecting me." And it was like, you know, that's why I even hit you up today. I was like, "Hey, man, we going off the cuff tonight? Say less." So, and then when you said what the title of today's show was going to be, I said, okay, let me call up my brothers and let's get them on the show because, to be honest with you, Ashton is somebody I super look up to. Yeah, he's technically my little cousin, but he's an amazing person. He's been doing so much positivity. Him and you know he's about to get married to a
nice. Congrats.
You know,
thank you.
Just had a baby. My little bro Kai. That's what you know.
Or I should say, I'm sorry, but
Ashton has been doing so many cool things and been able. You know, he's a super example of how I'm aspiring to be as a Black man, and awesome. I learned so much from him every day.
Appreciate that.
Julian, same thing. Since birth, you know, he'll tell you the reason why I started learning Japanese was because we had this game, Panzer Dragoon Azel, before it came out in America, and we could not get past a few parts. We had to learn Japanese, so
you had to learn Japanese to play the game. It was crazy.
That's how it started. But that's his level of commitment, and we stayed. You know, me and him, we stayed up all night playing this. We stayed up all night playing Chrono Trigger. But it wasn't so much as the playing the games. It was we were talking about so many different things. It was more so to keep me up. But it was like you know, in his plans for the future, he's always had these super grand plans, and it's always been people. I've heard his mom said, "You ain't gonna do this. You're gonna go grow up, get this job here, this, that, and third." You know, you're not going to be this person or that person. Uncle Bruce was a little bit different. Uncle Bruce was like, "You're going to do it. You got to do it. You got to work hard. You got to, you know." He was a complete example of how to run a business as a Black man. You know what I mean? And I'm super glad Prince is here because Prince, I've seen what he did with the Arcade, man, and I've seen so many different things. So many things he's been able to accomplish. He did that while being a cop, and he's been a cop during a hard period to being a cop when it wasn't all glamour. He got people. He was a cop over there January 6th. He was a cop for everything that happened bad. He still goes to work every day. And Mensa, how many times have me and you argued over things because I'm either not looking at it the right way, I'm looking at it the wrong perspective, or I just go off and try to do things without talking to the team first. But at the same time, the men in this room right here are men who I trust my life to, and you know what I mean. It's people like this where I feel the support, I feel the encouragement. You know what I mean. It's a different type of love for the people here, and it's
Right.
like this is how you support each other. This is how you show people how to do things the right way. And I was okay. I was okay with that. Just like 128K said, Prince was IRK. Prince was IRK. You know, a lot of games wouldn't happen if it wasn't for Prince. And that was what got me to say, hey, Prince, we need you to help work with us, man. We need this too. We need these indie devs. So the people here are my people. And I don't mean just like my black people. These are my people. These are, you know, not just the black people. Because you know how I feel about Honky Kong. You know how I feel about Dan. That's what these are my brothers. But I feel like, you know, more and more I'm looking into it. Plus I got me some Jack, so I really don't give a shit. But I you know what I mean? I know there's more support. Tavares Johnson. I'll tell you about this guy. He's been making these games for a little while. You know, he's been getting shunned. People have been laughing at him too. I don't know why, because his games are fucking amazing. So it's like, you know, I got to play a couple of his games he didn't release yet, and oh my god, he's nothing short of amazing. So I had to introduce him to some bigger people too. It's like, look, you need to do more than the bash box. And you know what I mean? I've seen a lot of people get caught up and say, you know, this corporate world, you're not gonna be able to progress, you're not gonna do this, that, and the third. You should be fortunate to be with us. Hell no, I'm fortunate that he took a chance on us. Mm-hmm. That he said, look, Bill, you know, I want to work with the bash box. I want to work with you. And it's been love ever since. You know, I hooked him up with the guys at Polygate. I hooked, you know, to, you know, expand his horizons because, you know, he needs to get his games out there. He can do such amazing work. I can't talk about, you know, what they're talking about, but soon when the world sees it, you know, he's going to be huge. And I'm so glad I get a front row seat to that.
Oh yeah.
I remember when
support.
When the CEO of iArcade decided he no longer appreciated Prince, and you know some of the cult mentality was turning on Prince. I remember reading comments such as, "You should be you're grateful. He took you in. He fed you like you're some freaking adopted, you know, Dalmatian." You know, it was the weirdest.
It was crazy.
Contrive I've ever read in my life.
That's
like,
not what happened here. I begged Prince. I went to Prince. Like, hey man, I need you. You know,
yeah, but it was like, first, but it was like some like he was it was like he was Annie. You know, like he was being adopted. Like he fed you corn. You ungrateful.
Wow.
Like, what is this?
It's because people feel like we should be grateful for the spots that we've earned. And I don't feel that way. I feel now, I do feel grateful that I'm in places that I'm in. I feel grateful that, you know, Jay's been able to take, you know, chances on me, that John D's taking a chance on me, you know, that Jadakiss taking a chance on me.
I will be grateful. I'm grateful to people who are grateful towards me.
What exactly?
I'm not going to be grateful if you're talking down and ignoring my accomplishments. So like what happened to Prince, you know, that's actually when I reached out to Prince, when I started seeing it happen. Yep. And I was like, I'm sorry, man.
I'm grateful for the people that look in here, but make no mistake, I earned my place. Yeah. And I feel like all of us earned our place here. I've earned it. You know, I didn't just get to the top because I was, you know, I just, people said, oh, you're cool, you're this, that, and the third, because nobody thought I was cool, first of all. I mean, and then my whole rise was based on the fact that I had to be with John D initially. And even then, people got upset because after me and him talked, I defended him. I said, John D's not a bad guy. When we talked, you know, we talked a lot of things out. He introduced me to the Capcom, to the Konami.
Man, Bobby
Boo. So the fact that people wanted me to still be mad at him, I'll never do that. I'm eternally grateful for the things John D has done for me. I'm eternally grateful for what Jay Mason's done for me. So my spot here, just because I'm grateful to the people who helped me get here, doesn't mean I didn't earn this shit.
Yeah.
Hey, and never stop. Never stop. Everyone starts
Exactly.
from somewhere, Johnson. Never stop.
Yep. So my thing is, I feel like in this position, you know, with the support that I have, with the support from, you know, close family, from the support from the guys in this room, you know, I feel a little better, you know, but I'm not gonna lie, it's something that it still bothers me because it's still a problem. I have no problem, you know, with people criticizing the product because I've gotten like 20 of those just today. That comes with
Everything could be criticized. That's not a big deal. When it's just like with the IRK, it's a product. Who gives a fuck? You know, like if it needs something, it needs something, whatever. That doesn't hurt nobody. It's when you do your personal BS,
personal attacks,
because you know then it has nothing to do with the actual product. You're just using it as a segue to attack the individual, and you know, we're gonna call a spade a spade. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, I took some things there too, and I'm not completely innocent of some, you know, certain people. So for that, I'll give that apology. That's why I did it situations I did it yesterday. But ultimately, I don't apologize for my seat. I don't apologize for being here. I don't apologize for being a leader of a team of the team of the greatest devs and marketing, you know, partners that I've ever seen in my life. And this team that I lead, they feel I'm the leader, so I feel like I follow you guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? I constantly feel like I'm strong because I have a strong team behind me. And I feel like I can go to Mensa, and Mensa feels empowered to say, no, don't do that stupid ass shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? And I listen. And when he says that, sometimes we'll argue, sometimes I'll give him pushback, but ultimately, I listen. And because I listen, I'm a stronger developer for it. I'm a stronger leader for it, you know, and I have a stronger team because my team knows I don't like yes men. I don't like people who say, "Oh, Bill, just go with this." You know, it's your company, but you do what you want. But then when I start doing stupid shit, then it's like, oh well, you know, it might not have been that great of a idea. Why didn't you say that in the first place when I bought it to you?
Right.
You know, those people are gone, and the people that are with me right now, Prince, Mensa, you know, the guys in the and you know that are with us, Thanos, everybody feels like they know that if I think Bill's making a bad move, I'm going to tell Bill he's making a bad move because it affects what I do affects the team. You know what I mean? And a lot of times I think about that. It's like it's not just about me. Bash isn't just me and Ashley anymore. Bash is a team of people who really put their blood, sweat, and tears into multiple products that we've put out there.
Yeah.
And that's what I think about every day. I wake up every day like, man, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this stuff right there. I wake up, I see the Bash chat going off. Yo, what's up, man? What's up, Ryan? You know, and every day I wake up like, yes, you know, I have a super team. It empowers me. Every day I wake up, Ferris is like, hey, man, I got a new update. Honky Kong, he's working on new stuff. And, you know, we're helping him through the loss of his wife while he's still taking care of the IRK community. Mm-hmm. So it's a whole thing.
Still taking care of and still getting BS.
Yep. Still getting it. So, you know what I mean? I'm letting it go off me today. And, you know, again, I thank you guys, especially for being on the show. Especially, I just called Ashley like an hour ago. And I called you like an hour ago, too. Like,
yeah, I was laying in bed and he messaged me. It's like, you want to be on this show? Man, be honest.
I was watching this Mavs game before I got that call. So I'm like, let me hop on.
Right?
Yeah. And you
appreciate you taking time out.
I got brothers on here right now who literally at the drop of a hat, I say, hey, man, I need you to be on the show with me. Say less, I'm on here.
Yep.
Look at
it. And Bill, like, before you called me too, I took out the trash. It's raining here right now. I took out the trash and I slipped and fell in the kitchen. My back was all messed up. I'm laying in bed. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it.
Link's right there, Johnson.
My back, I'm almost 40. You know, when you're in 20s, you can fall and bounce right back up. But man, I was laying there for a second. I was mad at the cat. Like, why can't you help me?
Thank you, James.
Little cat muscles.
So 128. I actually, I found a message I had sent over to Ryan's wife while she was in the hospital because she's been dealing with this stroke thing for a little bit. And I showed him. I was like, look, no matter what you guys was going through, that she went out knowing she was loved.
Yeah.
And I hope every day that gives him solace because he feels a lot of guilt. He feels like, a lot of things he did wasn't the right move or what have you because she's not here and he misses her. This is his wife. That's the love of his life. And she's not here anymore. So every day, he does things to try to busy himself, to try to make himself in there. But I try, Mensa tries, Prince tries. We all try to say, hey, look, just give him something to say, hey, Michelle was here. Michelle lived. She was a good person ultimately. No matter which, you went through a married couple. Every marriage is going to go through the type of shit that you go through. You're not special, but she was to you. And she lived and she was, a great person. She released a Bash about the robot like the 1 Nintendo man.
Good idea.
Today, man. I'm not.
That's a good idea. Hey, we may need to get with JLS with some art. He's got something similar with the retro box, GG retro box.
Oh,
shout out to JLS, another brother, always keeping us up.
How's the Bash box going, Billy?
So we get actually, it's crazy after these the videos that happened. We had like 6 or 7 videos about pretty much bashing the Bash box, and pre-orders just started popping in.
Hey, listen, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Never forget that. Never forget that.
Oh yeah. So now that we're working with different partners, I'm trying to move a little bit differently because now I'm dealing with bigger people, and I can't be old man Ruckus that's hacking everything anymore. So I got to think about the team, what's best for the team overall. I can't be selfish with this anymore. So at the same time, the Bash box and the power it's been bringing, and the indie developer support is crazy. Tavares is a shining example. It's somebody who's like, look, I got something for you. I got you. And it's been, an overwhelming blessing that people are saying, I'm going to take my chance on you.
That's awesome. Keep the conversation going. I wanted to segue. So we were talking about the Asian community, Asian culture a lot. And it's interesting, not just the fact that, African-American society has had an influence on them, but just as much as they've had an influence on us from, you got talking about Barry Gordy's Last Dragon, Wu-Tang Clan. The Americanized food is based on our fusion together. The yacht down in from Louisiana, the Portsmouth, the appreciation for both sides is amazing. And also to segue with Johnson saying how he started, and people were saying that people were laughing at him. Look at one of the most popular manga / animes out there, One Punch Man. I don't know if you ever seen that art. It was literally stick figures. And because somebody believed in this man, he blew up.
Yep.
And it's all from a web. I mean, something I could draw, So believe in your dreams. Don't stop. Keep pushing,
Dreams are something that you can't attain. I don't think Tavares understands the conversations that I just came out of, but your dreams are no longer dreams; they're milestones. Everything that you thought you wasn't getting ready to do, again, I can't talk too much about it, but understand, I can't wait till we get to Dave and Buster's one day, and I'm playing Money Run.
Other than Superman Gold, I'm gonna have to give it to One Punch Man.
Yeah, he can't be defeated.
It's canon now. It's written. Like,
actually,
I think that has to be one of the most.
One Punch Man bench pressed the entire universe.
Didn't they point out the fact that in their universe? I'm sorry, talk. Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying One Punch Man bench pressed the universe.
Jesus Christ, his feats are ridiculous.
And Superman barely can bench press the planet. Right. So in comparison, Superman can't mess with One Punch Man.
Well, like I said, other than Golden Superman, when he was like in the sun for God knows how long, and he had like godlike powers where he was like omnipotent and crap. Other than that, I don't know.
But Superman, he has. I just watched the Flash Crisis Infinity,
right?
And he had problems with Amazo. I'm like,
Well, you know what? Yeah, I'm definitely going to give it to One Punch because by technicality, he can't touch Darkseid.
Now, I was going to say, Superman has problems with Lex Luthor. Superman has problems with Batman.
Yeah.
So, Superman, by default, can't deal with smart people.
Did you see the one where the bad guy ended up getting Batman's contingency plan? So they were like fucking up the whole Justice League. And at the end, they moved to kick him out, right? He's like, nah, I kicked myself out, right? So then Superman still gave him the kryptonite at the end. And he says, but hey, check this out, Bruce. You had all these contingencies for us, but what about you? You know what this motherfucker said? He said, I had the lead. Meaning what? Meaning it was me who was going to take all you out, but to take me out, it was the whole league. I'm like, this guy.
Now, here's the thing that will fuck everybody's heads up, though.
Yeah.
Okay, Goku versus Superman. Now, Goku's just, Goku can rumble, Superman can rumble. But Goku's not smart like Vegeta. Vegeta has more battle sense, battle knowledge. That's why Vegeta won the battle when they fought without using any type of power-ups, any upgrades, any boosts. So Vegeta won that battle because Vegeta's smarter than Goku. Vegeta versus Superman would be a fight I'd want to see because, I don't think Vegeta is on Superman's level of strength, but I think he's smarter than him, and I think he can fight better.
Yeah, I mean, look when he took on Broly, right?
I don't rock with Vegeta. You already know, Bill. We've been having this fight since we were like kids, since we were like under double digits, like 5 and 6. Like,
I haven't.
Vegeta is trash, man.
Oh no,
he's a Vegeta man.
No.
But Vegeta canonically beat Goku.
I'm not a Vegeta man.
I'm a Goku fan, like, but this is like
now who I am. I'm a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan guy.
Okay, all right.
I'm the black hair Gohan guy. Like I was pissed off how they stopped showing Gohan love until now, because we knew canonically it was supposed to be the half Saiyans, half humans from day one. There should be no.
This conversation is getting spicy enough. I want to clarify. Yes. Okay, I don't hate Vegeta. I like Vegeta, but he's just written. Akira Toriyama wrote Vegeta to always lose, and he's kind of like Goku's fall guy. Yeah. I feel sad for him in that respect, but he's too. I feel like he's too smart. He outthinks. He has this whole battle with himself in his own mind before the fight even starts, and he's like defeating himself. It is possible to be too smart sometimes because paralysis by analysis is a real thing.
See, for me, the most technical fighter out of the whole crew is Piccolo. I mean, even the strongest cat ain't going to be standing in front of that beam. I don't give a fuck if it takes them all freaking year to finally hit you. Even they're going to purposely dodge it.
To sidestep away from anime for a second.
Yes.
To talk about where we're saying, with where Black people were influenced a lot by the Asian culture. If you think about it, before anime, it was the Kung Fu theaters. And even then, me and Julian, we come from the hood. So we had what was Channel 48, where Shaolin Temple, Wu-Tang,
exactly.
Chambers. So that's what we watched during the mornings. And it was more so because if you really think about the Asian culture, especially then, Chinese, Kung Fu movies were the Chinese blaxploitation films. Same way we watched the old school Shaft. You know what I mean? Those were blaxploitation films, and that we dug it, but it was like Kung Fu movies were the same thing for Chinese people. And we look at if you really look at old
but like I said, Barry Gordy's Last Dragon. I mean, you gotta acknowledge it.
Oh yeah. So if you take a look at Last Dragon, so I've actually talked to Ty Nack, and he's an amazing person with that too. But with something like that is a prime example of, they were completely influenced by the Asian culture, and they didn't
vice
appropriate
versa.
it. They appreciated it.
Right. And vice
that was
versa.
a different thing.
Yeah. I mean, it was a hip hop,
Yep.
Asian fusion. And like I said, from the get-go, though, it's always been a back and forth with that, at least when it came to American films. For me, though, my favorite kung fu film, and I'm not talking cult like, the 50s and stuff, I'm just overall, Storm Riders. Have y'all ever checked that out? That CGI was ahead of its time, man. Even to today, I think it still looks great. You ever seen it? Check it out. It's got
really big into kung fu movies.
Storm Riders is like watching Mortal Kombat finally come to life. Like it's good stuff, man. It's good.
You know what was good? It was a RZA movie actually. Man with the Iron Fist.
Oh yeah, that was really good.
That's good.
That was pretty dope.
So
that's
like where, and this is where our inspiration for a lot of things that we do in life, even with technology. Every black kid wanted a Voltron back in the day. Power Rangers. We to this day hold the Green Ranger in high esteem because Tommy was technically the only one who could actually fight. Outside, if you look at Power Rangers, Tommy was the only one who could actually fight.
And he had the hardest theme song.
He had the hardest theme song.
Green
Tommy was that. That's why. And if you look at black culture in general, we all associate with the Green Ranger. We all associate with the bad guy who's not really bad. We just get hit up in bad circumstances.
Goldar.
Oh yeah. So if you really look at who we are as a people, we are heavily, even a lot of our cooking. A lot of our cooking is in a lot of Asian cooking. Now,
that's what I was talking about earlier. The fusions.
I've been to China. I've never seen orange chicken in China. I've never seen real sesame in China.
If it's got sugar in it, it's probably because of us. Because you got to look at the people who live together mostly, and then to look at whose palate they're, they want to cater to. So you're looking at basically soul Asian food.
That's all it is, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's perfectly fine because they're not. That's their way of showing appreciation for. Yeah, but
it's good.
Who we are as a people and say, okay, we're here, we're in their place. Let's make them something, in our style that they would like.
Thundercats was a Panther. I mean, that dude was a brother from.
From a Panthro.
Yeah, Panthro. Yeah.
His favorite thing, Thundercats. Oh.
I think Voltron in the cartoon anime.
Huh?
Voltron was gotta be like the first thing we saw that was anime that we didn't really know was anime.
What?
Beast King. It was based off of Beast King Go Lion or something like that. It was like a Japanese anime from the 80s.
Oh yeah, Voltron was super stolen from Japan. Like you could tell that. But
Voltron, they basically just changed the name and put a different. They slapped a different coat of paint on it and called it Voltron. Yeah, but I'm sure they was in cahoots. All these big companies are in cahoots.
Yeah, this was I never knew when I was growing up about the whole Power Rangers thing where they were just taking the Japanese action cuts and then throwing out the the cheesy American acting. Because I saw some I forgot what the Power Rangers, the Saban version was based on. What are they called?
Jew Ranger. Jew Ranger. Jew Ranger. It's starts with Z.
Yeah, that crew, right? And there's blood and violence up in that bitch. Yeah. Like God Lord, they're going at it. And then they just made it like complete PG, for the States. So I thought that was pretty crazy.
We got the stereotypical Zach dancing in the juice bar.
What did he call his damn kung fu style? Like hip fu or some bullshit. Hip hop dough.
Yeah.
Like, let's go, guys. I'm gonna beatbox.
But you know what was cool about Zach is that it was believable. I swear they had to have plucked them out of the hood too.
Do you think it was coincidence how they matched the colors to the nationalities that they were? Do you think that was coincidence, or you think that was by design?
You know who did something on that? Key and Peele. When they did the Black Ranger,
right?
Black Falcon,
but do you think it was by design, or do you think it's a true coincidence?
I think it was by design. It
had to be.
Yeah, because
it had to be, because who goes through production and goes, "That's a great idea."
But here's the thing, though.
It worked. I loved it, but
that's a sign of the times. Back in like the 80s and 90s, like anything went. If you compare what kids watch,
that's it. Super Sentai.
What kids watch now, it's like now it's all so edited and it's all so dumbed down. But back then we was watching. What was that one we watched, Bill? It was with the dude Jubei Kibagawa. What was that one called?
Samurai Champloo.
Samurai Champloo. But even before Samurai Champloo, it was this that movie.
Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll.
Yeah, Ninja Scroll.
Ninja Scroll. We was like 12 years old.
Yeah, that was not the show.
I had a VHS, and I remember I saw that, and I thank God, I don't think my parents were there when I saw what I saw. I was like, whoa.
My mom walked in when I was watching it, and she was just like, "What, you watching cartoons?" Like, she didn't even comprehend it. She just saw a cartoon, and she worked like 3 jobs, so she was just like, "What, y'all watching cartoons?" Like, yeah.
All right. They said the Japanese version of Ronin Warriors was even more grotesque. It was like very violent.
Yeah, because I finally watched the Japanese version, and it's night and day.
Yeah,
night and day. It's almost like when you watch the subtitles to Dragon Ball Z. When you watch the American one, it's really campy, because of the English voice acting. But then when you watch it and it's the native tongue, it's more like a syndicated Journey to the West style. It just changes the whole format. It was the same thing with One Piece. When I first watched One Piece, I thought it was the dumbest thing I could ever watch, and then I finally watched it in its original, dialogue, and I'm like, okay, now this is serious.
One Piece is pretty dope.
It was say with Naruto, the character's voice, like, yeah, believe it. I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
You know his tagline? He always says "Dr. Bio."
Yeah,
that's actually a cuss word in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
So it's funny.
What is it? Because it's not like believe it or nothing like that.
Like, please, if you go to Japan, please do not say that.
Yeah,
believe it.
Dr. Bio is akin to like fucking believe it.
Fucking believe it. Okay.
Yeah,
gotcha.
It's
a harsh. It's like a harsher tone.
It's way harsher. Yeah, you don't.
Gotcha.
If you go there and you say that, I saw it actually when I was there. I guess they call those kind of people weebs. But like I saw the weebs there, and they don't speak Japanese, and they're talking anime Japanese in Japan, and they're just looking at them like, "What? What are you saying to me?" Because a lot of that stuff in anime, first of all, that's not how people speak. That's not how Japanese people speak.
Right.
But then a lot of the stuff in anime, when it gets translated, it looks like it's not very offensive, but it's like it's very vulgar words.
Because wasn't it like Dragon Ball? Like was I was watching a bad dub or whatever like that? Were they cussing in that with like Kai and whatnot?
Yeah, a lot. All of anime, even like the most like pretty much childish anime you watch, there's a lot of cussing in it. It's just how it is. That's just how anime is. A lot of those dudes who write anime, please don't look up the dudes who write anime. Don't look up the writers, because those dudes, they got some shady dealings happening in the background.
Damn,
that is crazy.
That's great.
Yeah. There's some crazy, there's some colorful characters.
Kiss my Converse.
All right, so listen, I want to change course just a little bit, because it's something else has been on my mind for the other purpose of the show today. I've seen a lot so I in our space, talking about other, black men, of course, going with people. One, I watch a lot of Moat. That's my guy because he's in a space, and I love the way he talks a lot of stuff that he does within his realm. And he has an amazing arcade room. So I I'm a shill for Moat. So we go from there. I definitely look at a lot of people in the space, and I see a lot of the divide that doesn't happen by it's not like something that just say, hey, I'm just not going to deal with the white people today. It's just that I see a lot of things where it's almost like Republicans versus Democrats today. Not so much conservative versus liberalism. I mean, like Trumpians versus Biden camp. I don't like either one, but I do feel that in this space as we are, we're heavily in a divide, and it's never going. I feel like it's not going to change because the people who facilitate the divide
Yes.
want to help that change happen. You know what I mean? It's like, and we could talk about where it meant to me. You had this talk not too long ago about people I consider my friends. You know what I mean? I don't talk bad about them anymore. I just stay out of their way. And even to date, they're shooting, saying good things about us. Same time, I don't forget. You know what I mean? I may have forgiven, and I'll let it go, but I don't forget. And I know what the divide leads to. I've seen what happened with other people in that space. I watch what they do now, and it's like it's almost like you're shilling for a company that doesn't exist anymore. One, and then another company who's just going to tell you what you want and make you buy it.
Right.
I don't say what those companies are, but you and all of us know, at least all of us in the space know who those companies are. They're going to tell you what to buy, you're going to buy it. And when you try to give people different ways to think about things, different way to say options, and then when you try to say, hey, I don't think anybody in this space has ever been as transparent as I have. And that's a good bad thing because, me, I notoriously leak my own stuff. So, it's that within this space, I find that it's hard to find my people. And again, not talking so much about black people because somebody like Sheline is, that's my sister. I love her to death. I love her show, and I'm super appreciative for the platform she gave us.
She's awesome.
You know what I mean? Super Game Room dudes. Zod Rider gave me, one of the first people who interviewed me when I first got in this space. It's that I see people who say, hey, I'm going to spout the truth. I'm going to give him a chance. I'd rather not bash him until I know who he is. And I've seen people who bash me because it's the cool thing to do right now. And that's cool too. You know what I mean? It's cool because that means that I'm in a position to where now people are going to take notice because controversy brings more attention than positivity. It always will.
Actually, can I respond to that?
Absolutely.
One of the things I had an epiphany the other day, and it's funny because I'll be 40 in June, and I've been having all these epiphanies, and it's like, why didn't I realize this when I was in my 20s? Or why, experience is what gives you these, I guess these moments of blossoming thoughts, right? And I thought about it. It's like, there are a ton of people out there that are maybe talking shit about you behind your back or wishing for your downfall. But what about the people out there who are talking good behind your back, who are silently supporting you or telling their friends, here's my boy Bill, or here's my boy Prince Malcolm or Mensa or Ashton, and they're just doing their thing, and they're talking to people you would never meet in your entire life. Like their circle is talking to their circle, and that circle is talking to that circle. And I don't feel like those people get enough attention because the one or two people out there who are stirring the pot and making things chaotic compared to the 10 or 50 or however many people out there who are talking good behind your back, because Bill, I always talk good about behind. I haven't lived in Philly in 18 years. It's been 18 years since I left Philly. But whenever your name comes up, I tell a story about the chicken. We got lost in the woods. I tell a story about how we became best friends. We was playing Street Fighter, and you know that led to us actually real fighting.
Who won the most?
Back then we were odd. You gotta remember, I came up to the FGC. I went pro, so it's a little bit different.
Bill, and we were pretty even for a while, but then Bill, it was Bill became a lot better than me. I mean, he was. I always pick Ryu. He always picked Ken, and Ken is actually just generally better than Ryu. As much as I love Ryu, Ken's that boy. But Bill was like much better than me. But we played Street Fighter, and it got so heated, we just put down the controllers and started fighting.
Yep.
Got anything last? All right,
and then we became best friends after that. But I always talk good about you, Bill. Like anybody, you don't even know these people. These people live in Japan and Hawaii and Belgium, and I still that's my boy.
You know what's crazy? That brings up another point because now I got to pay that forward because everybody knows the legend of Ashton on this show. Ashton never really watched the show because he's in a different space, so it's not really his crowd. But everybody in this space knows the legend of Ashton. So it's like Ashton don't even know. He's got a lot of people who know about him because when I tell the story about Bash, how we started, I always say, we came up from ABM when we started doing Snip app.
Yeah.
Snip Crush was supposed to be a marketing ploy for the Snip app. Snip Crush wound up doing better, and that's when Bash started taking off. But I tell the story, Bashton, it's Bash because it's Billy and Ashton, and that's always been the thing. So everybody knows the legend of Ashton, and even with Julian, I tell people it's out here all the time. It's like, I was like, hey, my brother's following Uncle Bruce's footsteps. He's about to, he's been in Japan. He's been doing so many great things. And, I never really think about that. And I know I'm not special in that regard. I know, again, it goes back to my whole purpose of the show is that I needed to be around people who I know I trust for my life, one, and two, people I look up to and that I know are supportive. These are, and Ashton, I know I can guarantee you, everybody out there knows the name Kendall. So everybody knows Mia. Everybody knows Jacada. These are the people that's in your life that you say, okay, these are these professional people who I give support to because these are people I know are going to do an amazing job. You know what I'm saying?
And speaking of ABM, that just popped up. Snip just popped up all like the videos and all that stuff. I was like, wow, what a throwback. What a throwback.
Rest in peace, Debo. For that video.
Have you explained what Snip was fully here?
So Snip was, what we were trying to do was basically an Uber Eats of hair care. And we tried to make it work and we got some people on. It just never really took off like we wanted it to. But
marketing. That was our downfall.
What you tell me all the time, Mensa, you got to market.
Market.
So, I mean, it's even this show, it's technically marketing. I'm not really marketing the Bash Box this time because this is stuff on my mind. But everything we do in life, it's out there. And even the result of who I am today in the space is because of a new marketing plan. I had a whole entirely marketing team. I mean, that's where Prince comes in. That's where you come in. That's where Dragon comes in. Not just QA, not just there. It's that these are people I trust with my product that I know is going to make sure they're going to present me in the best light. Everything that I do now online is determined. I got to run it through Mensa. I got to put it in the chat. Say, hey man, how you feel about this? How you feel about this ad? How you think this looks? Because it really is. Life is about marketing, and that's why Snip didn't come off. We learned that lesson the hard way. And again, we made a game for the marketing purposes that the game took off. The game to this day, I think I just got like a $20 check from Google because of this game. So it's like, what I mean? It's we learned those lessons, but ultimately it comes back to the people who brought us here, people who got us on our way. We do talk very well, very highly of everybody. I can imagine, where people, and I got another cousin, Shannon. She's a funeral director. Somebody else who I can feel because she's, extremely spiritual. Shannon and Ashton's mom, Toya, I could feel they're talking amazing things about us all the time. And these are professional people in my life who I know, are big on supporting not just, Black people, but people. So, I come back to, full circle to the the beginning of this video, is that as I see the one or twos that and I'm glad Julian brought that up because it definitely does help put things in perspective. I don't really think too much about what people aren't where people are talking good behind my back, because now I guess with the fame comes the hate, and it's like I see so many people with actual hate and people don't even know me, and it hurts sometimes because I'm new to dealing with this, but it is something I got to learn to deal with. You know what I mean? And I got to remember, just what Julian said, I got to think about the people who are talking good about me behind my back.
Yeah, it's crazy. And this is, like I said, this is something that I recently discovered, because when I went to Japan, right? First of all, I mean, I knew a lot of people there just because I talked to them online, but I met with this like, it was like a high level, maybe vice president of some social media company, and she was like meeting with one of my friends, and I'll go up to her and I'm like, hi, I'm introducing myself, I'm Julian, and then she goes, I know who you are, and I'm just like, how? Like, how do you know? I don't know. We've never met, and she's just like, your friends say good things about you, and here's this lady who is just like number two in this like multi-million-dollar or billion-dollar corporation in Japan, and she's just like, just casually, your friends say good things about you. And then that's when it hit me, like, all of these nasty people in my life that have disrespected me to my face or behind my back, they pale in comparison to all of the amazing people who, without prompting, they just say good things about you. You don't tell them to say it. You're not asking them for that. They just do it on their own. And like, it's just amazing to kind of come to realize that,
Yeah, and I guess it's more me. I got to put that in the forefront. So, fun fact about Julian. So, Mensa, my oldest son, Joe, going about to have a baby. His name is Joseph Julian because Julian's name is Julian Joseph.
My name is Julian Joseph.
Yeah. So my firstborn took his name.
You the Godfather?
Huh?
He's the Godfather.
I wasn't in Philly. Yeah, I wasn't in Philly.
He wasn't there, but that's.
I did come to meet him. I did come meet him. He was like, how old was he when I met him? Like 4 or 5 years old?
No, I think it was 6 when you came back because you were living in Hawaii at the time.
And we just got along famously, like immediately. Of course.
Isn't that amazing how kids just do that? Yeah. Like they've always known you.
That's his name.
He was just like picking me up. Like that, he's a little king, he was just a little so smart and adorable. Oh, yeah. He's just like, just pick me up. And I just pick him up. And I'm walking.
Now he's 6'5".
He'll be picking you up.
Pick me up. Yeah, that's what he's named after. He's named after this man right here.
That's awesome. I love it.
That's dope, Bill.
It's something I'm going to keep in my head now because, again, this was my therapy session. I needed to be around, when Susan Benson put the title up, it's like, unemployed men talking stuff. I got 2 of the most successful people I know, people who inspire me every day, people I look up to. I constantly, brag about Ashley. Julian, I needed to make sure he was here to talk about Happy Honda because that's the legacy Uncle Bruce left, he's picking it up. It's man, and it's crazy because in Mensa we talk all the time. So it's like I needed to be around people who I'm inspired by, who I feel supported by, who basically who make me feel like you can do what you want to do. You need to go out there, you need to pick yourself off your shoulders, make it happen, and that's what I need today. Sometimes I just need that, and I needed to feel like I could be around people who I know I love, people who I can be vulnerable with, and people and in my space. So. Yeah, the title of this show was Unemployed Black Men, and I got the most successful people that I some of the most successful people I know on here, but I wanted to make sure people knew that this isn't just about a race thing with me, because I cater to everybody and I make sure everybody know it's just the racism that hit me really bothered me, it really affected me, and I wanted other people to see that. I have a lot of support from not just my people, I got support from everybody. Bobby Vu's not, a black person. Bobby Vu's probably, one of my hugest supporters. I'm one of his biggest fans. John D, You know what I mean? You know how what we working with John D. Without him, I probably wouldn't be able to get the stuff that we're getting for the Bash Box. You know what I mean? It's that more people want to see me succeed than who want to tear me down.
I mean, look at everyone in the chat, right?
And that's what you got to take from it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for real. I mean, it ain't easy, but at the same time, it ain't supposed to be easy. And
it's a farce. Oh man, I think he was shocked when I threw him in the chat with I put him in front of Ron Lindman, Ron from Polycade. I got him in there with Tyler. I got Tyler. Ron was like, as soon as Tyler get back from China, we got to talk. We got to make some things happen. I got him in there with Jay. I got him in there with John D. I wanted people to know, hey, look, you got to see what he did. Like that meme with the pigeons was like, hey, come see this. Like people need to really see what he did. So again, I can't go on what him and Ron was talking about because it is now upcoming plans. Go back to what I was saying. His dreams ain't dreams no more. They're plans. They're milestones at this point. And you know what I mean? And it's like I hope he's able to pay that forward to somebody else. If somebody else comes up and was like and says, hey man, I'm trying to break into the industry. How do I do it? He's gonna look back and and say, this is how you do this, good brother. And he's gonna push that forward. That's how we keep this cycle going of support.
Yes. That's key.
Right.
That's key. Coming up, being 80s baby,
yep.
The whole I grew up conservative down in the DMV, I'm sundown town kind of bit, and the whole loving on your daddy was awkward. My dad was loving, you know what I mean, but I didn't connect with him until I was like a teenager, and that's when we finally had commonality. Oh, you like football? Well, I'll try to like football, that kind of crap. And then as society's, gone on with social media and whatnot, I found that now, as I believe there's a lot more healthier space for Black men to talk, communicate, without social media. I wouldn't have never met you, when met my brother Julian here, or Ashton, or, Bill,
yep.
And that we could talk, we can connect. We see things that you've experienced. I can empathize with what you experience and vice versa. So this is good stuff,
So Mensa, another surprise for you. So another fact about Ashton I didn't bring up is that Ashton was also in the Secret Service around the same time you were on White House duty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't do White House duty. I did presidential security once.
Yeah, you did.
Down in was it Costa Rica?
Yeah.
You might have met my cousin.
What years were you there?
Oh, for the security, it was an assignment down in Costa Rica.
Oh, nice.
So you guys got shared history with a lot that it's crazy. That
probably know my cousin though. I think he was down there, and
I was at Raleigh. I was at Raleigh training facility.
Yeah, he did. Oh man, I know he works at the IRS now, but it's like 2008 to maybe like 13. He was around that.
Yeah, IRS has hired about 20,000 people.
Wow. Yeah, because I know the schoolhouse is pretty much the same. When my brother-in-law, he went to DOD school, and he had a couple Secret Service folks at his schoolhouse. So it's interesting that it's the same bloody schoolhouse that we all go through.
Oh yeah, down at Fletsy.
Yeah, oh, you're a military cop, well, or a civilian, and the agents are there too.
Yeah.
By law, federal law enforcement officers are when you're retired. So I think that's
quick question,
cool.
Billy. Would you ever revamp Snipped?
So
would you would you sell it?
Would I sell it? No. And the reason why I wouldn't sell it is because Snipped is a huge part of my story. It's a huge part of my history. It's even in granted, Snipped is completely different from bowling and tank bash, but Snipped is where when we thought about Snipped, back when we started, even way back when we started working on the first App of Beauty, and
I forgot all about App of Beauty.
And then when you came on and we're like, we're going to do Snipped, we're going to do this the right way. It's like it's there, it's that, you know what I mean? It's something, and I still think Stiff is an amazing idea. You know what I mean? Me and Mike Brinkley and Styles P, we were talking about that not too long ago again. They was like, man, when are you gonna bring this back out? And I'm like, I got some other stuff to work on, man. But I keep thinking about it. You know, it's not just them. I talked with Katie Albert again because she hit me on Instagram and was like, hey, you know, did you ever get that Snip app out? I was like, your email, your IMing me, like, me. I was like, holy shit, like, but no, I was, you know, people want to see this out there, and I just didn't do the things the right way. You know what I mean? It's so much things we learned on the fly that we had to fail. We had to fail.
But even I can say like that because you know I'm doing project management, you know, doing software development start to finish, and even I can say like I've learned Snip has taught me a lot. You know, even I go on interviews and the conversation will do just about Snip and, you know, having, you know, conversation with people. But we definitely had a lot of learning lessons, a lot of hint foot stomps, try this, and us being hard headed and not doing it. So it's very interesting. Those 3 a.m. calls with Talika, you know, so I don't miss that. But, you know, I'm definitely glad that we had a chance to do it because, you know, if it wasn't for that, you know, I wouldn't have, you know, black tech, you know, I wouldn't be doing government contracting. So definitely appreciative of that. So,
and that's where it comes to. Sometimes you can't have success without failure. You can't. We need to fail. I don't want to say we failed big, and I don't consider, you know, it a failure itself. The project itself went bad, and it wasn't bad so much as it was we didn't do anything right because
I feel like. Yeah, I feel like even we had a great product. You know, our issue was always going to be we're two tech guys trying to create a beauty app with nobody that's beautiful. No, you know, to kind of be the mascot of what we're trying to push out. So, you know, just small like lessons like that. Just thinking about everything. You know, crossing over every box. You know, crossing every T. You know, dotting every I. You know, we didn't think about everything. You know, just growing pains. So, you know, truly appreciative of that though.
And you know what? You know what I learned. That's why now. I got Mensa and I got Dom. Dom's not here because he's got family things going on. But you know, these aren't tech guys. You know, Dom, he's actually from Space Force, but he's not a tech guy. He's a business guy. You know, Mensa, pretty much he's like the antithesis to everything that I want to do because I'm a tech guy. I'm not I'm only the CEO because you know I'm in this role, but I'm a tech guy. You know, everybody will tell you, just like I tell everybody in the room. It was you, Ashton, who told me, make sure you are never the smartest man in the room. And
can't
the developers, Brian is the best developer we have. That's the best developer I've ever seen. Fairs, you've seen all the amazing work he do. I follow them. Even Thanos is getting up there. He's working every day. He's going to surpass me in about a month. And, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm able to take a team of people who trust me because I trust them, and we're able to make some things happen. It just so happens people know me. That's the only reason why I'm in the seat. And because
awesome.
People deal with me, you know, because of where I am, because of the things that I've done. And I try to tell everybody all the time, you know.
Have you ever felt that you would do things different in the sense of look at the Harry Potter creator, right? When she first came out, she changed her name. She didn't let herself be known. Became a massive hit. It's kind of too late to take back her achievement. Then she's like, hey, look at me, look who I am. People go, well, now we love you still. Do you think you would have changed things different with Snip, like stealth rollout?
Go ahead,
different
Bill.
face.
I think we would have changed how we brought it out there. I don't even think we would have changed the face, because even with Bash, a lot of the things that I did started with me and Twig. A lot of people would talk to Twig who wouldn't talk to me, and you know, I don't want to, you know, throw that them because without him, you know, he was there. He wasn't. He was definitely perfect with you know everything. That's why he's still with us. He's still, you know, one of my brothers. But I think with Snipped, it goes back to what I said. We were tech guys. We're tech. You know what I mean? We're going to build, create, and destroy. I have no idea how to sell this shit.
Yeah, and you know that was a big problem for us. We're tech guys. We're not sales guys, and you know we didn't quite know how to make this app make money. We thought of everything from a functionality purpose, anything you can possibly think of. Essentially, we took Uber, Style Seat, and combined it together and said, you know, hey, about the, you know, the height of the pandemic, you know, we did our first rollout July 7th, 2020. And so, you know, people, you know, not supposed to be getting haircuts and, you know, but, these barbers, these stylists still need to find ways to make money.
Right.
We try to appeal to them, so we figured out what could be like a good concept. Should we do percentage base of each cut? Should we do subscription based? And just kind of figuring out, those growing pains is kind of what was the teeter totter of the scale of how Snipped is going to be. And so if I had to go back and do, a couple things, I would definitely hire a UX UI person from the very jump, just to kind of make sure what's appealing to the people in this said market. That's one.
Right.
Two, I would definitely start out with a marketing agency to figure out who is our target market audience, like who do we need to figure out what's going on. And then lastly, get somebody who could be the face, that's preferably somebody that's in the beauty industry, that's going to all of these conferences and whatnot. So, a lot of things that we could have done differently and whatnot.
Okay. That's great feedback.
If you look at where we are at Bash now, the things that I do and the things that I don't do. I didn't do the Bash logo. Six did that. I didn't do the Bash box logo. Six did that too. The actual bowling, the UIs for all of the games, Fairs did most of those. Ryan did a lot of the other stuff from there. I am not a salesman. I can't make things look good. I can make things functional. I can make things work. I can't make it pretty. I'm not good at that.
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like now, that's why, again, go back to the team. I got a team of people who make everything look beautiful. It make everything look pretty. It makes me look, better out in public because, I'm not a good salesman. I'm not good at selling myself, and I'm getting better at it because Mensa.
And that's one thing I could say, Billy and I have both learned, because, when we were doing Snipped, we were trying to do everything ourselves, create the website, how does the website make it look good, or, how should we do this, or what color should we pick? We were just thinking of everything that we can do ourselves, just because we wanted to create the base bare bones. Now I can say that, I have a great team around me when it comes to, BD, as far as business development, contracting, marketing, reaching out to people. And I can say Billy has a strong team over at Bash. So to see the different branch outs from ABM, to see how we started out and then how we finished, not essentially finished, but where we are now, night and day. And I definitely could say our progress from where we started, is completely different.
Plus, I wanted people to see who the hell Ashton is, because I know it's been like 3 or 4 shows he's been on. They're like, who is Ashton? I'm gonna get him on one of these shows.
It's me. I'm here.
But yeah, that's everybody knows the legend of Ashton, so I need to get him on one of these shows.
Go ahead, Julian.
It's really interesting to hear all of this because, I'm at the very beginning of my journey of starting my business. So it's interesting to hear the kind of things that worked and didn't work. And right now, I got cast to be on a reality show where we get mentored by successful millionaires. It's called The Blocks. And I'm going to be on there season 12, I believe, coming up later this year. They start filming for that in February. I've just kind of put a pin in all of I have my I call it the parking lot. I got I know what I know. And I know that I already know that I'm going to make mistakes because you don't start off being perfect. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes those little minor missteps to finally get to a place where you're comfortable at. So I know what I know. I know how to make a beautiful flower arrangement. I know people. I know the qualities and the type of people that I want to work for me and with me. I know what is generally, as I was in sales for 20 years, so I know what the public generally wants. And people are right now, people aren't buying products, they're buying a story. Anybody can make a product right now. Products is there's a product every 5 seconds, dime a dozen. People are buying the story. They want to know the person behind the product. They want to know the story behind the product, and that's where they really sold into it. So I've been focusing on my story, and my story is not for the faint of heart. It has some tragedies in there, but it also has a lot of really good in it, and I think it's a story worth telling. So I'm focusing on what I know, and then the things I don't know, I'll get there.
That's what's up. So I hear everyone talking about needing help in the sense of I wish I had known this or whatnot. I thought this was a good segue point. to AI and your opinions on it, seeing how AI can help you with a lot of taskers. That I want to know y'all's opinion on efficacy of it, as long as it's done right or wrong. Got Happy Hana, the Flower Shop Cafe gifts. That's what's up. I love the artwork, man.
Yeah, my friend designed it. Okay. I went to her. She's an artist. I was like, make me something dope. I wanted to be cute, and I wanted to be something. I don't want it to be. Everything is too simple now. Everyone is getting so simple. It's like, lay simple, and it's like 3 dots on their logo. I was like, I don't want to be simple. I wanted to be dope. I wanted to bring it back to the 80s where everything was just so, like, neon and overpowering and exciting. I wanted to be exciting. I don't want it to be simple. And she was like, bet.
And you know what I think that also. Oh, go ahead.
Here's another one of my logos. She came up with about.
Oh, that's dope.
It's like it's hard because it's like inverted.
It's almost like I'm trying to think of that circa animation style, like a Looney Tunes.
It's called Rubber Hose.
What's that?
It's called Rubber Hose.
Rubber, yeah, I like that. I like that style.
Yeah, it's really
Steamboat Willie.
Yeah, like Steamboat Willie. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, I like that.
I want my flower shop and cafe, when people come in there, every inch is going to be Instagrammable, because people will spend a lot of money in like a business as long as it will promote their brand.
So you have a shower or flower shop cafe.
Yeah, it's a flower shop cafe.
And I saw the Japanese words, and it's in Japan.
It's going to be the first location is going to be in Oregon.
Okay.
And then I'm going to expand into Japan next year.
That's what's up.
Nice. That's
international.
Dope.
Yeah. Before my uncle died, he gave me some really good advice. First of all, he says that I was so worried, and I was like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know if I'm good enough to do it, blah, blah, blah. And at the time, I didn't know this was going to be my last conversation with him. He unfortunately died from complications of diabetes. But the last conversation I had with him, he said, you know what? You got it. You're creative. You're smart. You can do it. Like it was almost like it wasn't even like there was zero doubt in his voice when he said that to me. And then I remember when he was talking about the regrets he had in his business, he was like, my regret was that I didn't expand, how all my eggs in one basket. And when that basket got knocked off the table, guess what happened to my eggs? So as soon as a year after I opened in Oregon, once I have a concept, I'm expanding immediately into an international market. This way, if the market crashes here, the economy crashes here, I'll have Japan.
Right.
Crashes in Japan, I'll have America. So
yeah, the way this economy in America is
still better than Japan right now.
You're right. You know, I'll watch a lot.
I gotta leave you guys, and I gotta get these kids together. Ashton and Julian, you definitely welcome to stay here, man. You're welcome on the show anytime.
Yeah.
I love you.
Appreciate
guys.
this. Is
coming on the show, man.
It's appreciated. Wonderful, you know. Glad we able to get the invite, Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Man, I'll talk to you later, bro. Thank you, guys.
He's the type of guy that will leave you like that.
It is what it is. It's been an hour and a half, though.
Yeah, man. He brought you guys on, and he didn't tell you what hell he got you in. So I'll let you. I'll segue you out because sometimes I'll go way too freaking long unless you want to stick around. Otherwise, I'll let you get your leave out. If you got any closing words, or if you want to stick, let me know.
I mean, I don't know if you got any watchers from Oregon, but
yeah,
consider supporting the Happy Hana. Like, it's not. I'm not going to sit up here and ask for support, although I probably should. But I've been doing everything on my own for this long, and I took it from literally a thought in my brain to an international concept. You know, and while it's a good thing to be strong as an individual, it's also strength also comes when you realize you need help. That is part of being strong. So I'm at that point right now. But I'm going to take it there no matter what. But consider visiting my Instagram, watching me make some beautiful flower arrangements. I also do stand-up poetry on my Instagram.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, so
yeah, hit up Bill or myself, and I'll put all the links in this description on this video.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate it.
And thank you for coming through.
Of course. I'm about to go make me some scrimp for dinner.
Right. You're welcome through anytime. I mean, it's what the show's about. It's open format. Anytime you want to come through, let me know.
I will.
I get long-winded, so
that's all good. It was fun. It was fun. It was like it was kind of like some training before I go film this reality show. So
that's what's up. And tell us about that one more time. You said block, like BLOCK?
BLOX.
BLOX. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
It's on Amazon Prime, Facebook Watch, regular TV. So it's on all those different networks, and I believe they get about 3 million people watching.
Oh wow! So has it already filmed, or are you going to do it and be on?
We start filming in February.
Oh, okay. Good luck.
In mid February, but the show I was on in Japan was seen by 300 million people. Wow! So because it's like,
so when you film this, will it be like, will it be well after the fact that we get to see you, like up in like summertime, or is it kind of like film live and we see you that day or the next?
No, it's gonna film. There's currently a season that just started right now.
Oh wow!
So but this is gonna be for the next season after this current one.
Okay, so then they can do all the production and all that good stuff. That's what's up, man.
It's been a pretty interesting process. Right now, I'm not 100% prepared to get there, but I just believe in and trusting in the process.
Right.
I'm in group therapy right now to get my head straight before I get there.
You know, it's gonna be cutthroat. I'm sure
it is a competition. So
right, and that's all, and that's where you got to take it from. Nothing's personal. It's just competition.
Oh, I ain't even worried. The only competition I have in this world is myself.
There you go.
I'm the only one that can bring me down.
That's what's up, man. That's a great way to look at everything.
Yep. So when I get there, I have every intention on winning. But honestly, the biggest reason why I accepted their proposal was just so that I can get my story out there.
This is a good idea and good feedback, man. Especially like a rubber hose thing. That would be cool.
Thank you. You know what?
That would be cool.
Yeah, that is a pretty dope. I think. Thank you.
That's a good idea. I would like to see that.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm learning is, originally, I know that like the way I dress is pretty unique.
Right.
And I mean, this is normal for me, so it always kind of like shocks me when someone makes like good comments, and it always makes me kind of blush a little bit. But like,
it's original to me. I like it.
Thank you. I made this jacket, by the way.
Oh man, let me see more of it if I can.
Yeah.
Okay. And you like you just like use the machine to sew that in. And
yep.
Man, that's
all
great.
the spikes on the.
I love the spikes.
Yeah, and then the back of it has the cat.
Okay. That's what's up, man.
So
that's a cool jacket, bro.
Thank you. I decided to wear. I have like 6 of these jackets, but I decided to wear the one that I made because I'm really proud of it. So I have my friends made the other jackets that I have.
I used to kind of dress like that, but it was when I was overseas.
Yeah, I mean,
I started getting into the whole like seashell stuff and the skulls on the rings and being more like a island bike thing. It was a cool style.
You know, it's really funny, but the reason why I started to wear this crown, I was in Utah. And I don't know if you've ever been to Utah, but it's one of the most. It was one of the most racist states I've ever visited.
Wow.
Right.
Right.
But there's a lot of good in Utah too. I don't want to say that Utah is horrible. But I was in Salt Lake and I was visiting one of my friends, and I just noticed everybody was looking at me funny, like no matter where I went. Because my friend was like a pretty white girl, so like they just all looking at me, even though she was just my friend. I guess they didn't realize that. They thought we were together. So I decided to buy a crown. And I was like, if they're going to look at me, I'm going to give them something to look at. And then
brilliant.
This was like 10 years ago, and I've been wearing a crown every day for 10 years.
Hey, it fits you, man. It's like I can't imagine you without it now. It's awesome.
Yeah. So And then I wore that crown every day, and it was like just
you're embodying it.
Just to spite these people in there. And I just gave them something to look at. Like, right. And even until this day, it's my comfort zone. It's like I feel comfortable wearing this. If someone's gonna look at me and they're gonna say something negative or they think something negative, I want to give them something to look at. I want to give them a story to tell their friends when they get home. But the majority of the people, they love it. They're like, "Where'd you get that crown? You know, it's handmade and all that other stuff." And like when
it's handmade.
It's handmade, yeah.
Like,
yeah, I have a crown maker. He lives in California.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's a handmade crown.
Oh,
he takes special orders. He takes special orders from me. I got about 6 of these crowns, but like he,
bro,
yeah,
see now you gotta link me.
Yeah, I'm interested. Yeah, if anybody want to show him love, like he's such a dope individual, and I'm just like, can I get a gold crown with a black leather belt on it? And then he fixed it up. I got a purple and pink one, I got a blue one, and I got a black crown.
See, now I want a purple, black, gold one.
Yeah, he can do that
with some green in it.
He'll hook it up for you.
Yes,
he'll hook it up.
Yes,
but yeah,
I'm serious too, man.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I'll hook you up with the link. But yeah, when I was in Japan, people just Ishoni Shashin Daijobu, can we take a picture together?
Right.
And I'm just like, sure, yeah, let's take a picture. So many people, and I'm just like happy that this style can make people happy, can put a smile on other people's faces without me even saying a word to them. I'm just walking in Costco and people are like smiling.
Yeah, so, it's whatever from the state side of what you casually see folks wear, and then that stigma, and then you just completely turn it on its face because you're being you're wearing your representation, and it's showing, you know, the colors, you know, the art, the hearts, the love. Everything's popping, and then you still got the representation with the hip hop, the stylizations going on here. You got the throwback of the turtles. You're showing your blurred. You know, like everything's perfect. Like you're showing that you're smart, your intellect, you're loving, you're fun. You know, all at the same time. You know, and you don't have to fake the funk. You know what I mean?
I can't.
You're just you.
There was a period of time where I was trying to fit in to be accepted by society or even by myself, you know, like, but it just never worked out for me. And then once I just stopped and just let myself be myself, that was when, you know, life kind of came into perspective for me. So
now all your employees need a crown.
Yeah, I'm definitely I'm going to bring it when I work at the business. When I first started this business, I wanted it to feel like a business for the people. So I didn't want it to be so focused around me. But what I'm realizing is that, you know, because people buy into the story, I need to lean into that, and I need to let people know who I am before they even step foot in the store. So that's why I've been. Even though like a lot of people will look at me and they'll think that, you know, that I'm happy because I'm able to express myself and be myself. But it's hard. You know, the world wants the nail that sticks up gets hammered down, you know.
Right.
The world wants me to be this person, but I refuse, and I do get the consequences from that. So like I was diagnosed with PTSD. I deal with that. There's so many challenges that I face, but the challenges is the fuel that pushes me forward. So that's just how I decided to look at it. You know,
that's amazing. Yeah, and I'm glad you're getting the help you need on that, and taking it and speaking on it, because that's one of the biggest taboos, is not being able to speak on it. You know, and talk about it. You know, I hear you, I see you, I acknowledge it. You know, I think a lot of us.
It's 2024. You know, it's got to be a time for change, and that time is now.
Exactly. I couldn't said it better. Like I said, I don't know how long you wanted to stick through, but I wanted to segue real quick and show for my friend of mine. I was talking about how excuse me, where we needed help on certain instances and the effects of AI and geeking out towards that. And right now, her name is She Lion. She's been pretty much a ride die bitch. Also former, she's a veteran, and she has been diving into the world of AI and doing a lot of novel work. And she has this pretty cool thing that she's doing where she's going to like make these books. And I wanted to share because she's going to start kind of doing like an audio visual thing. Oh yeah, and this is her original thing right now. So this is like her second trailer. I thought she did a pretty good job on it. So I'm gonna play it real quick and show it off that she's got. So this is called Quantum Soul, The Journey to Skylar. Her page is called The Art of Evolution. She says this is the second trailer for her upcoming series based on the trilogy she wrote. This is not written in any part by AI, but she used AI to create the animations. And then also, you know, the audio work that she did also too by, you know, slowing it down and whatnot. It's pretty cool. Let me play it real quick.
Federal File Note 76.1. Victor Skihan, responsible for development and sales of atmospheric IEE 802.11x converters and Greentel's nanotechnology, all of which was made available to public corporations shortly after the end of the last global conflict, Anarchy. 76.2. Confidential. His secret research facility is located directly beneath his estate property, which he utilized for networking, research, and experiments in applied bionics and cybernetics. This is the facility in which nanotechnology first became active, and further development was conducted, creating nanobots capable of rebuilding organic tissue and creating bionic-infused, biomechanical, and cybernetically enhanced body parts. 76.3. Confidential. This technology allowed any organic structure damage, sustaining heavy damage, to be repaired in microseconds and enhanced structural integrity and strength, which also added significant endurance. Live tissue repair and cybernetic upgrades quickly became a reality. 76.4. Confidential. After several failed attempts, 2 subjects were successfully fused with the technology. The outcomes was as they had hoped. However, in light of their success, they did not account for one variable, which ultimately led to a crippling mishap for Mr. Skihan. 76.5. Confidential. Mr. Skihan is now determined to correct his mistake at any cost and reinstate his organic nanotechnology as a societal standard for the wealthy.
I'm gonna find out who did it, Mama. They're gonna pay. Tell me where my daughter is or die.
You're a dead man, Bishop.
That's pretty dope. I feel like AI is getting so close to the point where it's on the same level as like what humans can do. But I'm of the ilk now. I'm an artist. I draw. I write. I sing. I paint. I make flower arrangements. Anything that's creative, that's considered creative, I have done it, or I spent a period of my life doing it. Even making costumes, and the way I choose to view AI is it's a tool. You know,
Right.
like when the hammer was invented. You know,
Yes.
do you think that people looked at the hammer and was like, this is going to replace humans? It's
Right.
going to replace the fist. You know, this hammer is replacing the fist to beat nails down. No, we looked at it as something that will propel our abilities, that will enhance our abilities as humans further. And I feel like once AI settles into where it belongs, it settles into the right area that it belongs in, then I feel like more people will start to understand the importance of the tool that AI is.
I agree. They were looking at like, of course, you got people who can use it for nefarious reasons, such as, hey, write this report for me kind of thing. And then that's where they kind of get into the plagiarism bit, obviously, because it took it from somewhere and then it just completely wrote it for you. So there's no sourcing and citing, But the thing is, it's also a tool where, what if I was to take pretty much say this right here, and then I ask it to rewrite it for me. So now it's literally just taking a couple of the words and changing the words for the source. This is Mikey D's original words. You asked it to rewrite, and all it did was, instead of saying logo, it might say picture, or instead of saying orange, it might say, a light red fusion, whatever.
Yeah.
That's not plagiarism no more. Yes, you kind of went a little lazier route in the sense of that you had the AI do that, but that's still nothing more that you could have already done with a well-written, a thesaurus next to you.
And I'll say this.
What are you gonna do about it?
When I was a kid, and not only me, but like everybody else I knew in the class, we had these arbitrary, utterly useful like projects or homework that we had to do. It's like it has no value in real life whatsoever. So it's like, I'm just gonna like this book report. What is the best way to? Oh, please write a summary of this book. The best way to write the summary of the book is they take the words from the book and word it.
Right.
Like, what can I say that will describe this book better than the book itself?
You know what killed me during half of those college times is when they're like, tell me what you're gonna do when you grow up, kind of stuff, and it's like, I'm here because I'm retired. Like, not a damn thing. Like, are we really doing this? Like, I gotta make this shit up. Like, like this is weird.
A lot of my friends are in management in the corporate world. My friends who are still in the corporate, and when they write emails to their teams, they use AI to write the emails to their teams. So
it only makes sense because I did one where I said, rewrite this for professional, So then they made it all formatted. And I was like, just to make a point, I was like, okay, well, rewrite this and Ebonics. And it's like, yo, what's up, fam? And it was the same thing, but it was, the tailored to your audience,
Exactly.
And I just think it's so clever that I do think there needs to be an emphasis where free thinking should come first, and you should try not to make it 99% of just, let me just copy and paste this, that you should learn the art of doing it from scratch first, just so we don't lose our way. Because
become like the people from WALL-E, just floating around.
Right.
Like robotic Walmart chairs,
Right. Because when quantum chips come out, it's game over. When that starts to come commercial, AI is gonna be severely damaging. I just fear that with the way it's being used, that this doesn't just start a war kind of thing. And I don't mean because they're gonna launch the nuke, some stupid crap. I'm talking about where it takes the president's voice, and then somebody put that crap on Twitter, and then some jerk sees it on social media and actually responds to it because they're like, yo, it's real, and it's not. Just those type of moments are kind of scary if because they could happen.
I mean, well, then there's also AI that can detect AI. So like, we just gotta hope that there's like the proper like safeguards are in measure. But that goes for anything.
But not to take away from what you said, but there was one case where a professor used an AI tool and gave the person a 0. The person was able to prove that was bullcrap because they did Google Docs. So they had the beginning to the end of all the documentation and corrections that they made, and that it was never even close to touching the AI side. So the AI detected that it was AI, and it was actually not even close to it, too.
It's definitely not going to be perfect. And
right. But that was the scary thing, is that they're relying on that tool solely at times. Yeah. And because I remember I did one, and it said I had like plagiarism up to like 70% or some BS, and it's like, there's no way, because it's completely there's nothing copy, there was no page, AI didn't even exist,
Yeah, and but I agree with you. There shouldn't be one system that we put 100% of our faith in, because
right.
It goes back to what my uncle said. He had all his eggs in one basket, and what happened when that basket gets knocked off the table,
Exactly.
So definitely there should be human eyes there, because a lot of people talk like AI. I have plenty of friends who the way they naturally talk is very similar to AI. So it's just like, I don't know if that's a reflection of AI or a reflection of those people, but this technology is in its infancy stage, and the most dangerous point of any species is in their infancy stage. Like an infant snake will just dump all its venom into you when it bites you. Even in like infant babies, they're so fragile and require so much attention. That's like the most crucial stage of a organism. I guess AI could be considered an organism.
Well, that's going to be the scary state, is when, if somehow like some Star Trek level crap, where is this thing sentient now? And if it's sentient, will humans acknowledge it? It's right. That kind of crap. So you're getting, I think eventually we're getting into testy waters. 15 years ago, if you were telling me about Skynet, I thought it would be the dumbest thing you could bring up to me, because you have to be dumb enough to put the AI and make it control the actual the weaponry and this and that. But they're getting there, and they're doing it, and there seems to be no checks and balances as far as everybody falling in line. Right now, if you do something on like the more popular AI apps, there's these protocols where they're like, no, we're not going to let you look this up or do this type of thing. They'll blacklist it. But then there's also the dark web of AI, where there is no restrictions, and you could go pay on your own server kind of stuff, and you could just go bananas. And I think if nations don't do regulations, it's going to go haywire. And I don't mean regulations in the sense that law is going to solve everything, but if you don't get something done now, at least the way American society works, you can't go backtracking and punish somebody for something stupid after the fact. You need to get this ahead of this now, so if it does happen, people could be held accountable.
Yeah. I mean, but any time in the past, right, that there was some sort of major technological advancement, there was just chaos around it. Like even when the TV became popular, there was chaos around it. The microwave, they thought that microwaves cause cancer. I mean, is any sort of technological advancement, there's always been controversy behind it, and then there's end of the worlders out there like the internet is going to be eventually what ends the world. I mean, your cell phone, 5G radio waves. So there's Y2K, all of that stuff.
Oh man, that was the apocalypse then.
It was the apocalypse. Yeah, I mean, so it's easy to kind of like look at it and believe like AI is going to be the end all be all of humanity, but like one of the things that I respect about humans is that we persevere. Like we've been through so much crazy ridiculous things, and other species have gone extinct, sometimes because of humans, but there are more species gone extinct, on their own, aside from what humans can do, and we still find a way to come out and survive. So if AI wants to start a war, of course, I'll probably be hiding somewhere, just keep me and my circle safe. But we got all these, crazy people we got enough people that will fight AI.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think my fear is that the robots are going to dominate humans. It's the fear that AI will mentally dominate humans to the point where humans will destroy each other because of an act of AI, even if the humans behind the act. That's my fear, which was, the notorious act of using someone else's voice or imagery or pictures. Look what it's doing right now in the war. They would have to go like, hey, look, that little baby you see under the rubble has like 7 fingers. AI created that picture. So it's not that the fact that the war isn't happening and there's bad imagery out there of the real war, but it doesn't help when there's also false information that is being used now realistically with photorealism to propaganda. So yeah,
totally,
it's insane.
Right now I'm choosing. I'm doing my best to look at it as just like
positive tool,
a positive,
yes.
Maybe not completely harmless, but a positive tool. But
absolutely.
I reserve my right to to change that.
Absolutely.
In the future if need be. But,
I'm with you. I believe it's a positive tool. I think it's a great tool. I think it's going to help many people. I'm looking at it for good efficacy reasons, for especially the people, handicapped folks, or people who are just, trying to get their words together, their thoughts together. It's going to be major, especially if faster typing and to get your thoughts out. I think it's going to be great.
I believe that too.
Well, it's been great meeting you.
Same here.
Thank you for coming by. Please hook up Bill with all your stuff so I can maybe contact you later or vice versa, so I can put all this stuff on here.
I would love that.
Or I don't know if you're on Facebook or whatever, but this is great stuff. Thanks for everybody coming by. I appreciate your love. Hey, thanks for bringing up a great point, Julian, about not giving enough focus and attention to the people who support us and that love us and back us, and even in silence are key players in life.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything you want to say before we head out.
Just look up my website, nixva.art, NIXVA.ART on Instagram, nixva.art.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Peace.